Today, we're delving into the chilling story behind the Gilgo Beach killings, a case that has gripped investigators and the public for over a decade. At the heart of this case is Rex Heuermann, an architect who lived a seemingly normal life until he was charged with the murders of 6 women. Who is Rex Heuermann? How did he become the primary suspect? And what do we know about the victims? Let's dive deeper into the mystery of the Gilgo Beach killings. Investigators first began discovering the remains of several women along the desolate stretch of Ocean Parkway in 2010, though the killings themselves likely began years earlier. Over time, the bodies of at least 10 victims, many of them sex workers, were found scattered along the beach. Some of the victims were dismembered, which pointed to the possibility of a highly organized and meticulous killer. For over a decade, the case remained cold, and the identity of the killer became one of the most notorious unsolved mysteries in the country. Some theorized that the killer had a background in law enforcement or forensics, given how well he seemed to evade authorities. Let's take a closer look at the victims connected to this case. The 6 women whom Rex Heuermann is charged with killing include Megan Waterman, Melissa Barthelemy, Amber Costello, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Jessica Taylor, and Sandra Castilla. All of these women were sex workers whose remains were discovered in or around Gilgo Beach. For many of these women, their families searched tirelessly for answers. Some had been missing for years before their bodies were discovered. For instance, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, a single mother, was last seen in 2007. Her family spent years hoping for her return, only to find out much later that she was one of the victims. These heartbreaking stories fuel the public's demand for justice. So, who is Rex Heuermann? Before his arrest, Heuermann was a successful architect who had lived in Massapequa Park on Long Island for much of his life. He worked in Manhattan, operating out of a small office, and by all appearances, led an ordinary life.
Rex Heuermann, I'm an architect, I'm an architectural consultant, I'm a troubleshooter, born and raised on Long Island.
But beneath the surface, there were signs of darkness. It was in March 2022 that investigators began taking Heuermann seriously as a suspect. The break in the case came when a witness linked his Chevrolet Avalanche to one of the murders. But that was only the beginning. Investigators found even more chilling evidence. Cell phone records showing Heuermann had been in contact with some of the victims, and a pizza crust discarded by Heuermann that was DNA matched to hair found at one of the crime scenes. As Heuermann awaits trial, there have already been several significant legal developments. During his latest court appearance in July 2024, prosecutors filed additional charges, now linking him to 6 murders. But the trial has been delayed, with the next court date now scheduled for October 16th, 2024. This has sparked significant public interest, as many wonder what will come next. Defense attorney Michael Brown has hinted at several legal strategies that could be used in the coming months. One of the most interesting is a potential request to separate the charges for the first 4 women from the most recent 2. This could create a complex legal landscape, especially as Brown is also considering asking for a change of venue due to concerns about finding an unbiased jury. Furthermore, questions about the DNA evidence will likely play a key role in the defense's arguments, as Brown has already expressed concerns about the testing performed on the hair strands. One of the most intriguing aspects of this case is the speculation that there may be more than one killer involved. Over the years, investigators have considered the possibility that a second person could be responsible for some of the killings, or that Heuermann may have had accomplices. This is still being explored as the investigation continues. With so much at stake, the upcoming trial is expected to attract massive attention, as it may finally bring some closure to the families of the victims. But it's important to remember that there are still many unanswered questions. Could there be more victims yet to be discovered? And how will Hoyermann's defense team approach the trial, given the mounting evidence against him? With the next court date set for October 16th, 2024, the legal battle is far from over. We'll continue to follow this case closely and keep you updated on any new developments as they emerge. So, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay informed on the latest news surrounding the Gilgo beach killings and the trial of Rex Hoyermann.